In the world of investigative storytelling, we look for paper trails. We look for signatures, badge numbers, and payroll records. Because in a democracy, you can't just make a person vanish, or can you? In July 1947, something crashed in the New Mexico desert. We've been told it was a weather balloon. We've been told it was a Soviet spycraft. But while the world argues over debris and memory metal, a much darker story sits in the shadows. It's the story of a woman who saw what she wasn't supposed to see. A woman who described bodies that didn't belong on this earth. And then, within days, she was gone. Not just transferred, not just retired, she was deleted. Tonight on Broken Shield, we're investigating the mystery of Naomi Maria Selff. Was she a victim of the ultimate government scrub, the greatest ghost story ever told? To understand the nurse, you have to understand the man who created her, Glenn Dennis. In 1947, Glenn was a young mortician at Ballard Funeral Home. He had a contract with the air base. On July 7th, Glenn gets a series of strange calls from the base's mortuary affairs officer. They weren't asking about soldiers. They were asking about hermetically sealed, child-sized caskets. They were asking how to preserve bodies that had been exposed to the elements for days. Glenn, being a curious young man, drives out to the base hospital later that evening. But when he arrives, the atmosphere isn't military, it's medical martial law. He sees his friend, a petite, dark-haired nurse, coming out of an examination room. She looks like she's seen the end of the world. She screams at him, "Glenn, get out of here before they kill you." The next day, Glenn meets the nurse at a local coffee shop. She's trembling. She takes a napkin and draws what she saw in that room. She describes 3 bodies. 2 were mangled, but 1 was nearly intact. They weren't human. They had oversized heads, deep-set eyes, and 4 slender fingers with suction cup tips. She tells Glenn she was forced to assist 2 doctors who were performing a preliminary field autopsy. The smell, she said, was like nothing on this planet, a heavy sulfurous stench that made her lose consciousness. This is where the Broken Shield protocol kicks in. If this happened, there is a medical log. There is a duty roster. There is a name. Glenn finally gives it up, Naomi Maria Selff. This is where the story turns from a UFO encounter into a disappearance case. Then 48 hours of that coffee shop meeting, Naomi is gone. Glenn is told she's been transferred to England, he writes to her. Weeks later, the letter comes back, stamped in red. Deceased. I want you to think about the logistics of that. In 1947, if a military nurse dies in the line of duty, there's a funeral. There's a notification to the family. There's a record in the National Archives. We searched. Stanton Friedman, the legendary nuclear physicist and investigator, searched. He went through every nursing school in the United States. Went through the RAAF payroll for July 1947. He went through the morning reports for every unit on that base. The result? 0. There is no Naomi Maria Selff. She doesn't exist in the 1940 census. She doesn't have a social security number. She never attended the schools Glenn claimed she did. This leaves us with 2 terrifying options for the Broken Shield files. Option A. The government is so efficient at erasure that they didn't just kill her. They reached back in time and removed her birth. Option B. Glenn Dennis led. The Air Force says Option B is the truth. In their 1994 report, they claimed Glenn was confused. They found a nurse named Eileen Fanton who fit the description, but she was very much alive and denied the whole thing. But why would Glenn lie? I didn't sell the story for 40 years. He was a respected businessman, a leader in the Roswell community. Why invent a woman and give her a name that was so easy to disprove? Unless ... Naomi Maria Selff wasn't her name. In intelligence circles, they use canary names, false names given to people to see if they leak information. Did the nurse give Glenn a fake name to protect herself? Or did the military provide Glenn with a fake name through her, knowing that when he eventually talked, his story would fall apart because Naomi didn't exist? This is the dead internet of the 1940s. A narrative was created, a witness was removed, and the truth was replaced. With a version so flimsy that it forces you to doubt your own eyes. Whether Naomi Selff was a real woman who died in a clandestine operation, or a ghost created by a man's aging memory, the result is the same. A hole in the record. If she was real, her life was stolen to protect a secret. If she was a lie, She has served as a 70-year distraction from the physical evidence that actually remains. At Broken Shield, we don't care about the lights in the sky, we care about the people on the ground. And if a nurse can vanish from the records of the most powerful military in history, then none of us are as on the record as we think. Stay vigilant. Watch the shield.